уважаемый жюри, уважаемые коллеги, уважаемые гости, сегодняшний мастер-класс посвящен теме Paper Books versus Digital Book. Эта тема у нас идет по рабочей дисциплине программы практика по дисциплине практику культуры речи английского языка. Цель мастер-класса – это формирование и развитие навыков спонтанной, устной, иммунологической и диалогической речи на продвинутом этапе владения английским языком. Поэтому сегодняшнее занятие мы проведем со студентами 4-го курса английского отделения, первая группа. Задача мастер-класса – раздача на материале, который лежит у вас на столе. So, let's start our lesson. Have you heard that 2019 is declared to be the year of books by the Commonwealth of Independent States? Boys and girls, have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Yes, but no, you haven't, Bella. You haven't. Okay. Well, you should have guessed from my question that today's lesson will be devoted to books and readings. But before proceeding to our lesson itself, let's start with asking you some questions. So I'd like to know, who's your favorite author, Nadia?
My favorite author is Jack London.
Jack London, good. Romina?
My favorite author is Haruki Murakami.
Haruki Murakami, wow. Contemporary Japanese writer, very interesting.
Paulo Coelho.
Oh, Paulo Coelho, that's good. Belle, what about you?
Agatha Christie and Somerset Maugham.
Somerset Maugham, classical literature. Okay, and what's your favorite genre, Brad?
Historical novel.
Historical novels. Say that.
Detectives.
Detectives, okay. Друзья,
Psychology.
Psychology. Well, that's one more very interesting question. How do you choose books to read? Do you choose them according to the cover, looking at the cover, or looking at the print, or, for example, you listen to a person's advice, or your friend's advice, or you prefer to read some recommendations or some reviews given in the internet? How do you choose books?
I talk to my friends who knows enough about books, who have with my same taste.
So the friends who have the same taste as you. Okay. So Malik, what about you? How do you choose books?
I usually listen to my friends.
Listen to my friends? To my friends. Say, what about you?
I like to look for recommendations in the internet, and then I decide what book I want to.
So you rely on the recommendations given in the internet. Maria, what about you?
I also read recommendation on the internet. Or sometimes my friend also tells me about different very good books.
Very good and interesting book. Okay, so I see that you like reading very much, and in order to check how well you know the world literature and to check your knowledge of world literature, I have prepared a quiz for you, which consists of 10 lines. So the text consists of 10 sentences. So, and this is the first and the last line of the novel. Your task is to guess whether it is the first line of the novel or whether it is the last line of the novel. Okay? So you should write F for the first line and L for the last line. Итак, уважаемые жюри, студентам дано задание выполнить небольшой тест, который выявляет остаточные фоновые знания студентов по мировой литературе. То есть насколько хорошо они знают произведения мировой литературы. И вы знаете, что тест – это не только великолепный способ проверки знаний студентов, но и он еще помогает проверить коммуникативные навыки, проверить произносительные навыки, грамматические, лексические, и еще проверить то, как студенты могут реагировать на реплики друг друга, на высказывания друг друга, а также на высказывания самого преподавателя. So 2 minutes for you to complete the task. I think it won't be difficult for you, as you are very keen readers. So ready? Ready?
Yes.
So let's check. Well, let's start.
Okay. So the first, all children except one grow up. Which is the first one?
The first line. Good. Malika.
Is it true universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife? Who is first?
First line. Well, Nadine.
Oh, my girls, however long you may live, I never can wish you a greater happiness than this. I think it's the last line.
So you're right, of course. This is the last line. Nabrat.
James Bond with two double bore bombs inside him set in the final departure lounge of Miami Airport and they heard about life and death. So I suppose it's the first line.
So you're right. Seda.
Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4, Red Drive, were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. I think it's the last line.
Last line. Is she right?
I think it's
The first line. Okay. Maria.
Tomorrow I will think of some way to get him back. After all, tomorrow is another day. It's last day.
Last sentence. Rumina.
Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. I think this is first line.
Good. Which one?
Jim sent tears took down the size of his nose, but it was alright. Everything was alright. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother. I think it's the last one.
The last line. Is she right?
Yeah.
Okay. John, what about you?
Many years later, as he faced the emergence of what Colonel Oriana Bender was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. I think it's first line.
First line, right. Hajumrat, you are the last person. Renowned here.
Renowned curator Jeffers Senior scheduled to the vaulted archway of the museum's grand gallery. I think it's last line.
It's the last. Is she right?
Yes.
Is she right?
Yes.
So now the task is becoming more difficult. The task for you is to match the first and the last lines to the novels they are taken from. Okay? So to do the task of matching. Do you see a pile of books on your sheets of papers? On your sheet of paper, you have the same copy and a pile of book on the screen. So you should do the matching. Okay? Уважаемые жюри, задание немного усложняется. Студенты должны соотнести уже данные предложения, начало романа или конец романа, с самими романами, из которого взяты заимствованы эти предложения. В принципе, все эти произведения достаточно известные, и я не думаю, что для студентов 4-го курса они представляют какую-то сложность. Многие из этих произведений входят в школьную программу по литературе. So, 2 minutes to complete the task. Your favorite Harry Potter here? I know some of you like Orwell. So ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rumin, let's start with you. The first is?
The first one is Peter Pan by Barry.
By Barry. Is she right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Mariam, next.
The second one, I think this sentence is from Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Have you read it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Bella.
So I think this sentence is from William by William A.
Okay. Prizer.
I support the fourth belongs to Goldfinger by Lane Fleming.
Okay, do you agree with her? Girls and boys? Yeah, okay. Hajumrat.
Fifth, I'm sure that it's Harry Potter, no, it's F, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
The Philosopher's Stone. Okay, Nadia next.
I think the sixth is Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell.
Margaret Mitchell. Okay, June.
So I think that the seventh is from Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy.
By Leo Tolstoy. Navrat.
So I'm sure that the eighth is from.
A bit louder, please. They don't hear you. A bit
So
louder.
the eighth one is from 1984 by George Orwell.
Oh, well, good. Marika. 9.
100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel
Garcia Marquez. Okay. Fatima, you are the last.
I think that the last one is from The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown.
Okay. So, which do you think is the best first line to the novel? Which first line do you like most of all? Juma.
Happy families are all alike.
Okay, Maya.
All children except one grow up.
Grow up. Okay. Well, you want to say something.
Yes, I think all children except one grow up.
Grow up. Okay. So, have you read all these books, girls and boys?
No.
No. Which one you haven't read yet?
I want to read 100 Years of Solitude.
100 Years of Solitude. Navrat, what about you?
I haven't read Goldfinger, but I think I will.
I think you will, so you have time. Okay, during your summer holidays. Fatima.
The Da Vinci Code, I saw the movie. I think it's very interesting to read.
So you prefer first see movie and then turn to paper books. Okay, that's a very interesting technique. Okay, so and if you have a chance, do you prefer to read these books a paper version or digital version of the books? Digital. Okay, so it's up to you. So, and while answering to my questions, you said that you like different ways of choosing a book. And Saida says us that she likes to read some comments, some recommendations in the internet. And here is the task for you. The task is before doing this task, let's pay attention to the listing of adjectives on the top of this task. Let's not translate, but explain them in English, okay? Not translate. I think that they're not very difficult for you to explain in English, okay? Navrat, depressing. Let's start. Sad, unhappy, good. Rumina.
Entertaining, I think that it's exciting, something
Pleasant, enjoyable. Okay, Raziat.
Fast moving. Quick development.
Developing quickly. Developing quickly. Adjective, you should explain with using adjective. Okay, Maya.
Homesick party, catching attention.
Okay, and beautiful at the same time, and glorious. Juma.
Going, it means maybe difficult.
Difficult or complicated. Okay, Saida.
Implausible is something not realistic.
Not realistic and difficult. Incredible, difficult to accept as true. Okay. Gajmura.
I think it's which keeping you in suspense.
Suspense are very interesting.
Yeah.
Nadir.
Moving, it is something touching.
Something touching and making you feel emotional. Okay, it's hard.
Thought-provoking, it is something that makes you think.
Something that makes you think over new ideas and ponder over new ideas. Okay, and do you see that all these adjectives are missing in that very recommendations? Your task is to fill in that very missing places. Be very attentive, as you should read the commentary or recommendation very carefully, because the choice of your adjective, should depend on the context itself. Okay? So 2 minutes for you to complete the task. Уважаемые жюри, студентам дано задание вставить пропущенные прилагательные, которые используются для описания книг, популярных книг. Это рекомендации, которые были заимствованы из интернет-источников. Вы видите, что все эти рекомендации, они обозначены звездочками, то есть по мере популярности, то есть самые популярные, менее популярные. И задание нацелено на поиск необходимого слова с опорой на контекст. Это самое важное, потому что вне контекста очень сложно подобрать правильное слово. Правильное слово или правильное прилагательное. Time's up. Be quick. Be quick. So you may discuss what in class. It's not prohibited. Don't discuss. You may discuss. It's just your pair work. So have you discussed the answers? Yes? So okay, let's start. Juma, the first one.
A wonderful book, so moving it brought tears to my eyes.
Okay, Mariam.
I thought provoking novel that raised many interesting questions.
Okay, say that.
Rather heavy going.
Uh-huh.
Rather heavy going. I had to make a real effort to finish it.
Okay, Navrat.
A gripping story. I was hooked from the first page.
Okay, Umina.
A light-bright, entertaining novel with perfect for beach girls.
Reading. Okay, Razia.
The plot was
Breathless speed.
Okay, at breakneck speed. Okay, it's what?
Well-written novel, but so depressing it made me feel almost suicidal.
Suicidal. And Nadia.
A haunting tale which stayed with me long after I'd finished reading it.
Okay, so that was the last one. So, thank you very much. Well done. I'm proud of you. Do you like, if you have a chance to read an English book, do you prefer to read it in the original or the translated version of this book? Fatima?
I would like to read it in the original.
In the original. Bella?
No.
No? You like to read it? Translated version? In translation, okay. But you know that it's just impossible for a person to read all the novels in the original. It's impossible for a person to know all the languages in the world. That's why people have to read novels in the translated version of the novels. I've prepared for you the following task. So, have you read novels? Who said that he likes to read Haruki Murakami? You are, okay. So, Haruki Murakami is one of the very famous contemporary Japanese writer who is very popular among English-speaking audience. This is one of the translation of the beginning of the same novel. The novel is called The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Have you read it?
No.
No, you have. Okay, I know that you like it. Okay, so Rumina knows Haruki Murakami. You read which one?
It's a Norwegian book.
Norwegian. Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, what about you?
Norwegian.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, this is one more novel. I don't know whether you know it or not. Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. This is the beginning of his of this novel. And these are two translations made by two different people. And your task is to look at these two extracts and to find differences. What are the differences? Looking to find the differences. And here are the task. I'm sorry for making you wait and asking you. Okay, so here are the copies. So, is enough? So, one more? That's enough? You are, okay, sorry. And these are the copies. So, it's just the same. same, but so their sheet of paper contains the task. The task. So look at the excerpts. Say, what differences do you see in the first, between the differences between the first excerpt and the second excerpt? What are the differences? Look at them.
First tense.
So you feel some tense atmosphere in the first. In the first
it is in class.
So the past tenses are used in the first, and what about the second excerpt? Present. Okay, I am, calls, and again I am. What else? You sure?
And in the first extract, the name of music is written in English.
The
Yes,
quivering
and,
magpie.
While in the second one, the name of music is written in Italian. Yes.
Italian. Okay, La Gaza Ladra. Okay, one more difference. What else?
Length of sentences.
Length of a sentence, good. What can you say about
First
that?
extract, they are long.
So which consists of one long sentence. And what about the second extract?
There are short several sentences.
Short several sentences, good. And one more thing.
I think stylistic feature. Yes, the first extract is written more neatly and cleanly, and the second one it is more neurotic. Yes,
Neurotic. Well, very good adjective. Okay.
In the second extract, the choice of word is highly
Highly literary, you say, you mean. Okay. What else?
Historical present. It's called historical present.
Historical present, you see? But not historical, but it was mentioned that it is dramatic present. Dramatic present. In the textbook it was written, dramatic present. Well, and one more thing, spaghetti cooking. Have you met before this word, spaghetti cooking? No. What is it? So a word which is invented by the translator himself. By the translator himself.
He describes music by this
No. Spaghetti cooking music. Okay, to describe music. So it is a quirky invented adjective or accidentalism. Well, okay. And what about the overture and prelude? I'm sorry, I don't see. Okay, this is. Do you see the differences of word? In the first excerpt, it is overture, and in the second excerpt, it is prelude. But at the same time, they mean the same, but two different words are used in these two excerpts. Anything else?
There is described in detail in the first.
What details have you noticed?
Boiling a pot full.
Boiling pot full, good.
Yes, but in the second one, there are
No details. Okay. So, and you see that I'll tell you a secret. That one of them is made by a professional. Haruki Murakami is very famous, and he has his own professional translator. And one of these episodes is made by a professional translator, and one of them is made by a non-professional translator. Can you guess which one is made by a professional translator? You are. So do you feel the differences between professionalism and non-professionalism?
I think that the second extract is translated by professional.
Professional? Okay. Do you agree, girls?
No.
The first one and the second?
And the second, non-professional.
Non-professional. Okay, you are right, Malika, because the second one is made by a non-professional translator, and the first one is made by his personal translator. But nevertheless, thanks to this non-professional translation, Haruki Murakami gained a wide popularity among English-speaking audience. Well, and do you see that if you want to be a translator, you should pay attention to many different things, to the vocabulary, to the style, to the grammar, and of course the last and very important, cultural peculiarities. So I know that you like to play. So I see that you like to read, and let's combine these two strains into one, and to show how well you know how you can play. So for this reason, Romina has prepared us a game which is called Alias.
To begin with, let's divide you into teams.
So what will be your names of team?
Hair.
And yours?
Bookworms.
Okay. So the rules are the following. So one by one, you will come up to me and take a card, you see, and try to explain the title of the novel. So you have only 20 seconds, and your team should guess the title of the novel and the name of the author. So the first team, Shakespeare's heirs. Someone?
So very quick, because you have 20 seconds for each answer, okay?
So
if you are not able to talk within this time limit, you lose.
So, start.
So the story is written by a famous Russian writer, and this book is about a student in St. Petersburg who is going to kill an old woman.
Crime and punishment by the state.
By the state. Okay. Next one.
So it's about married. It's a very famous Russian novel, and it's about married women who committed suicide in the railway.
Okay. So next one.
It is a story telling about a poor girl who are going to be a nurse in a richer house, and yeah, by yeah.
So next one.
A quick movement. Time is money. Do you know this?
This story takes place in a civil war, and the main character always say that she will think about it tomorrow.
Okay, this story is about a rich man who is deeply in love with the woman, and he makes great parties for her.
Great, yes, by Prizer.
Do you like Prizer?
Yes.
I like movie.
You like movie, Mom?
So this story tells us about a poor girl who pretended to be a rich girl, while the man who was a rich man, pretended to be a poor. Yes, by Henry.
Okay, it is novel about the lawyer and the bigger man who raped the white girl.
It is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
I believe.
It's silly if you don't know this.
Okay, it is a novel about some fellow who was in love with him, maybe, and his portrait was changing.
The picture of the grave.
Yes,
By
and
whom?
the other.
Oscar Wilde.
Okay.
Be careful. Be careful.
This book is about a group of young boys who, in turned out, they arrived in some island.
Turned out to be on the island, deserted island.
William Baldwin.
Yes. So, Vasa. Hurry up. Okay. So it's about a young boy who didn't want to grow, and the famous quote from this book is everyone grows until one.
Except one.
Okay.
So I can say that the friendship has won. The friendship has won. So the time for our technology has come up. And I know that you like to watch TED Talk presentations, and TED means the technology, entertainment, design. They're very popular right now among English teachers. And today's presentation, TED Talk presentation, will be about a next generation digital book. So will you tell me what does it mean, digital book?
Electronic device. On one hand, it's a device which contains many different books, and we can just read them there.
Read, download, and read them. Okay. Prizer?
An electronic version.
Oh, it's just an electronic version of the book. Okay.
It might be apps.
Oh, okay. It might be an app.
Which contains a lot of books.
Electronic version of the books. Okay, with audio and without. Okay, anything else about digital books? Do you have digital books?
Yes.
Yes, you have. Do you use it?
Yes.
Do you use them in your life for your studies?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not very often. Okay. And next generation digital book, that is the name of the presentation. Can you give any predictions what these presentation will be about? Sure.
I suppose this video will be about some certain device or maybe gadget which will simplify people's life as any other gadgets
Of
or
course,
devices.
the main function of any gadget is to simplify people's life. Okay, Maria?
Maybe about new advantages of e-books.
Of e-books or digital books.
Functions, yes.
Maybe about a new type of electronic books.
New types of electronic books. Malika?
I agree with Brad. I think it will be about new features, new types of the digital books.
Okay, well, now let's watch. The tape script. So the task is for you to watch the video and to fill in the missing words. Okay, do you see the missing words?
Yeah.
Watch very carefully, very attentively, and to fill in that very missing words. But at the same time, you may take some notes, make some notes while watching the presentation. If there are some interesting facts for you to, some remarkable or some interesting facts, okay?
My team at Push Pop Press and Charlie Melchers and Melcher Media has been working on creating the first feature-length interactive book. It's called Our Choice, and the author is Al Gore. It's the sequel to An Inconvenient Truth, and it explores all the solutions that will solve the climate crisis. The book starts like this. This is the cover. As the globe spins, we can see our location, and we can open the book and swipe through the chapters to browse the book. Or we can scroll through the pages at the bottom. And if we want to zoom into a page, we just open it up. And anything you see in the book, you can pick up with 2 fingers and lift off the page and open up. And if you want to go back and read the book again, you just fold it back up and put it back on the page. And so this works the same way. You pick it up, pop it open.
I consider myself look at windows and feel very good.
And so throughout the whole book, Al Gore will walk you through and explain the photos. This photo you can even see on an interactive map.
So, this is only for 1 minute. 1 minute and a half. Okay, let's check it. Nabrat? So the first one, let's, if we are pressed for time, let's just read out the words, okay?
The first feature
Feature?
Interactive.
Feature length?
Feature length, interactive book.
Book, okay. Mariam.
The second.
What is called? How's it called? It is
It's
called?
called Our Choice.
Our Choice, okay. It is, Romina? There? The sequel. Of course, right, sequel. What's my next?
It is cover.
The cover of the article. Где?
Swipe.
To swipe, good, друзья. Chapters to browse. To browse. Jum.
To scroll.
To scroll through. Past position. Juma. Well, sorry.
To zoom into.
To zoom into. Good. Say that.
It's
To lift. To lift off. Off. Of course. Now right, next.
To pick it up.
To pick it up. Good. And the last one is Marika. Interactive maps. Interactive maps. Okay, let's continue watching this video, and as I've said, you are to make notes. Okay, and while watching the presentation, write down all the words which you do not use to describe paper books. Only those words which you may use to describe digital books.
And throughout the book, there's over an hour of documentary footage and the interactive animations. So you can open this one.
Most modern wind turbines consist of a large...
It starts playing immediately. And while it's playing, we can pinch and peek back at the page, and the movie keeps playing. Or we can zoom out to the table of contents, and the video keeps playing. But one of the coolest things in this book are the interactive infographics. This one shows the wind potential all around the United States. But instead of just showing us the information, we can take our finger and explore and see state by state exactly how much wind potential there is. We can do the same for geothermal energy and solar power. This is one of my favorites. So this shows when the wind is blowing, any excess energy coming from the windmill is diverted into the battery. And as the wind starts dying down, any excess energy will be diverted back into the house for lights and everyone. And this whole book, it doesn't just run on the iPad. It also runs on the iPhone. And so you can start reading on your iPad in your living room and then pick up where you left off on the iPhone. It works the exact same way. You can pinch into any page, open it up. So that's Pushpot Press's first title, Our Wars, Our Choice. Thank you.
So, what new words have you heard which you may use to describe any digital book? Zoom.
Zoom out and zoom into.
Zoom out and zoom into. Okay, Mariam.
Pinch and peek out.
Pinch and peek out. Okay.
Interactive infographics.
Interactive infographics. Good.
Scroll, swipe.
To scroll, to swipe.
Interactive animations.
Animations, okay. Or iconographics, it was mentioned.
Feedback.
Feedback, okay. And anything else? To swipe, okay. But it was said. Nadia? Anything else? Okay. So, and who was close in making predictions? Who was close? You said that the advantages, disadvantages, new type of them. So, Navrat. So, you think that Navrat, okay. So for the next time, we'll ask Navrat to make predictions. Do you want to have such books? Do you want to use in your life?
No.
No, you don't. You?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And do you think that digital books will totally replace paper books in the future?
I think it can.
Yes.
I think
Especially this app, I think it's good for scientific articles.
For scientific articles and scientific books. Okay. Wow. Now let's continue the theme of TED Talk in our book fair. our students have prepared for you a presentation, the presentation of a paper book, of the advantages of a paper book and advantages of the same digital book. You know, I've said that TED Talk presentations are very famous, and there are a lot of textbooks written about TED Talks presentations. So you are welcome, girls. So I think the paper book, okay, so we'll give the first word to paper books. So this is criteria for you.
Hello, my name is Bella, and today I want to present you some information about paper books. And the first thing I want to tell you about is that in recent years, print books have seen a resurgence, and for good reason. They can be better for our brain and for our health, according to science. And now, we want to present you this interesting book, Keynote to the Student's Book for Advanced Readers, so even printed book. So let's consider the advantages of this kind of a book. Firstly, this book, and firstly, for me, as for some people, this is a very important factor, because for avid readers, holding the book in the hand, the smell of the paper, binding and flipping into the pages is a beautiful thing which lacks in digital device. And secondly, of course, it is flexibility in annotating. So, for example, here we can we have many tasks and many gaps to be filled. So, and it is very important that we can use this book and make some notes. We can use pencils or pens of different colors and so on. Yes, and of course physical books are more easily shared, it is a fact. And as for many people, paper books are easier on the eyes. As for me too, I got bad eyes, and of course it is a big advantage because we are people who stare at the computer screen all the day. So, and the next, it is physical books, of course, make more meaningful gifts, and as for me too. And it is a good example for kids, for our younger sisters and brothers, and of course, I suppose our parents don't worry when we are sitting holding the book in our hand and reading. And the last, of course, according to some study, learn more easily with printed books, we learn. And it is a true, it is a fact. So buy these printed books, be healthy and be happy. Thank you for your attention.
So the next is the presentation of the digital book, of the same book, but digital version of it.
Hello everyone, I'm Nadia Musalaeva and I'm a representative of Macmillan Publishing House. Today I'm going to offer you this perfect, smart, new and modern book, Keynote for TED Talks for Advanced Level. There are some, why should you buy only this book? Why should you buy only this version of this book? There are many reasons. And the first reason, and I think the main reason, is that no trees are dying while making e-books. We should protect our planet because it is a question about ecology, it is a question about our environment. And the second reason is e-books are portable. You can carry with you the whole library with you, only even on laptop, even on phone, even on computer, notebook, it doesn't matter. And let's imagine that you need to carry all this book with you. it is impossible. But with laptop, it's simple. The next, it is a shareable content. Once buy this book, you can share it with all your friends, all your family, all your colleagues, it doesn't matter. The next, it is reading in dark. You don't need flashlight, you don't need to switch on the light, and you just switch on your phone, and as we know, nowadays e-books, digitals don't harm your eyes, your health. The next one, the next point, it is instant download. You can download everywhere in every computer. It doesn't matter. The last, not last, and also the main, one of the main points, it is cost effective. We know e-books are cheaper than paper books, and everyone in this planet can buy it if they want. And other point which I want to mention is that there are three, we can not have only textbook. Also, we have we can have audio book. If you haven't got enough time, you can just listen to it. And if you don't understand while listening, we also make